everybody. Welcome to your Sunday morning yoga practice. So today I thought we might do a little bit of hip opening and hip movement, or particularly opening, because my hips have gotten a little tight over the last few days, and I thought perhaps that's part of our conscious collectiveness, and maybe other people are feeling the same thing. So if you have a yoga block, go and grab that now. But if you don't, a book would suffice, a hard-covered book. Just grab what you have and come back and just pop it to the side. And we're going to start in a standing up position. It's a little bit chilly, so we'll get nice and warm. So coming to a standing position, feet hip distance, the front of your mat. I'm just at the back for the camera. And just take a little bit of time here with eyes closed down to let yourself really fully arrive on your mat. Feeling like you've landed in this space for the practice of yoga on this Sunday morning. So let your eyes close down and just, you might take a little bit of time here to gently shift the weight from side to side. Forward and back, from the heels to the toes. And perhaps just give your shoulders a little roll up, back and down, just feeling into your body, noticing how it's feeling as we first initially arrive on the mat, and letting go of anything that you have had to do before this practice, or that you did, not that you had to do, but it could have been a little bit of a rush for you before you started to arrive on your mat. Perhaps you just woke up. Maybe you've been for a run or a bike ride, and maybe you have things on after class as well. So the idea here is that we release any attachment to the before and the after, and we bring our awareness to the four corners of the mat that we are on. So we have this lovely sacred space that we can inhabit for the next 60 to 90 minutes for our practice of yoga. So close down your eyes now and let's connect to the breath. Let's connect to our physical body and just allow yourself a few moments with eyes closed down to observe how you're breathing this morning. And we want to feel that lovely sensation of the breath as it enters the body, and that expansion through the front, the back, the sides. And then that softness as we exhale. So knowing that as we inhale, we allow that breath to reach every space between every cell, every crevice, and feeling that expansion, opening up the body a little more so we're ready to practice yoga. And then this beautiful opportunity to soften into that expansion that we've been offered. So yes, we breathe to stay alive, but we also have this beautiful tool that we can use to slow the breath, to slow the heart rate, to soften through the body. It's such a beautiful tool that we have, and it has so many facets. So now allow yourself just to focus on your physical body a little more and how it feels as the breath comes in, and notice any areas that are offering any resistance to this opportunity to expand and soften. And spend a little bit more time there perhaps. If it's your shoulders, breathe a little into the shoulders, give them a little bit of movement, or perhaps you just gently move your head from side to side. Think of this as a little inquiry or check-in to see how the body's feeling, and let yourself move with it, just with eyes closed down. Let yourself just instinctively move, and it may be a little bit of a dance here. And as I move, I can feel my hips are a little tight, my glutes are a little tight, my hamstrings are a little tight. And maybe you start to just shift the weight from one leg to the other as well. Incense smoke just came into my mouth. I love incense, but sometimes the smoke gets a little... All right, let's come come back to your breath now and deepen that breath and slow it down a little more. So as you take your next breath in, draw the breath in through the nostrils, follow it down the back of the throat, letting it land in the belly. And we want to feel that expansion from that point, the front, the back, the sides. And then let that breath continue to rise all the way up into your chest. So at the peak of the inhale, your collarbones lift a little, your rib cage expands to the edges of the skin. And as you exhale, we allow that breath to leave the top of the lungs, the bottom of the lungs, the diaphragm muscle shifts up. And as that breath leaves the belly, that navel draws softly in towards your spine. So a nice slow breath in. Following that breath, take the journey as it lands in your belly or as close as it can. Expanding front, back, sides, and letting it then rise all the way up into your chest. And take one more breath. So as it's morning and you might be a little cold, we'll ease into a nice softness through the backs of the legs. So take a breath in, lift the arms towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale, guide the hands down towards the heart. And let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. So one more breath and we'll take a gentle forward fold. Inhale, lift the arms towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, take that nice soft forward fold down onto the mat. And I want you to soften your knees here. And take a little bit of time to pedal through the feet, bending into one leg and shifting the weight into the other, and feel as if you're rocking a little bit here forward and back as you shift the weight from one leg to the other. Move with the breath. Come back to stillness. Use your next inhale to slide the hands halfway up the shins and exhale into a flat back here. So I want you to feel this lovely stretch down the backs of the legs as you send the buttocks to the wall behind. Feel that nice stretch through the calf muscles into the hamstrings. Take a nice inhale here. And as you exhale, let the hands slide all the way down onto your mat. Right leg steps to the back of the mat and drop down through that back knee. Or inhale to lift the arms. And let's exhale, find cactus arms. Nice wide open elbows. Right knee forward, left heel back. Send that gaze towards the ceiling with the breath in. And as you breathe out, release the hands to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. With your next inhalation, we step to the front of the mat. And exhale the chest down onto the thighs. And take a nice slow spinal roll. As you inhale, feel bone stack on bone. Hands reach for that tall mountain pose. Exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms, fingers touch. Exhale, right hand slides down to the right side of the knee. And can we inhale, come back through center. Exhale, slide the left hand down. Let's go again. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. So come back through center with that inhale. Exhale, forward fold, back down onto the mat, tipping from the hips, bending your knees as much as you need to. This time, let's come onto the balls of our feet, so the ball of one foot, bending into that leg. Taking a little pedal like we often do in a downward facing dog. So coming high onto the toes or the ball of the foot on one leg and straightening into the other. And again, shifting that weight, but taking a slightly different approach this time. Come to stillness. Inhale, slide the hands halfway up the shins. Exhale, flatten your back. So you feel like you're actually, as you press the palms of the hands into the shins, you're allowing a little bit of lift through the back, but you're also feeling that nice stretch down all the way through the backs of the legs. Take a breath in. On your breath out, release the hands to the floor. Let's step the left leg to the back of the mat. Drop down through the back knee. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, find those cactus arms. Left knee forward, right heel draws back. Open through the chest. And we take that nice drawing in of the knee and the heel so we're not crunching too much into that lumbar spine and pushing forward. We want to stabilize, draw the hip flexor a little bit forward through that left leg. Take a deep breath in. And then on the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot. Let's tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. With our next inhalation, step to the front of the mat. Exhale, chest onto the thighs. Take that super slow spinal roll as we inhale. Hands can meet in prayer. Tall mountain pose. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands all the way to the navel or solar plexus. Fingers interlaced here. Inhale, draw the hands towards the chin. Lift the elbows nice and high. And exhale, sink now down into your chair pose. Utkatasana. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands behind. Fingers interlaced here. We draw the hands towards the floor. Lift a little up and away from the buttocks with that inhale. Soften your knees and exhale, forward fold. So hands can lift towards the ceiling here or sit on the small of your back. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, release the hands to the mat. Inhale, find your flat back here. Exhale to your forward fold, and let's step the right leg to the back of the mat once again, dropping down through that back knee. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, find your cactus arms, nice wide open elbows, chest lifting a little, open a little more through the arms, right knee forward, left heel back, so we're not crunching through that lumbar spine. Nice opening through that right hip flexor. Take a nice deep breath in. On the breath out, let's release the hands to frame the front foot. We'll slide the hips back and just open a little into the hamstring. So let's move forward. Inhale to come forward, just little pulsations to make sure that left hamstring's getting nice and warm. One more time. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to slide back. So hold here. Toes draw back towards the shin. Walk your hands back towards that knee. Feel as if you're attempting to draw that left heel back towards you. Take a nice deep breath in. On the breath out, allow your chest to come a little forward and down over that front thigh. And do that again. Inhale. And exhale. And then let's start to shift the weight back into that left leg. So we're going to take our left hand to the inside of that left leg. Heel toe that leg to the edge of the mat. So we're opening a little through this inner thigh. We're not quite yet taking our lizard pose. But if you feel okay with this move, you could gently come onto the outer blade of your left foot, bringing that leg open nice and wide. So we feel this nice stretch down through the outside of the left glute as well. One more breath. Let's slowly come back onto the sole of that left foot, and we'll tuck the toes on the right leg, lift the right knee, and with our next inhalation, step that foot to the front of the mat, but keep it wide, yeah? And on your exhale, sink down and just let yourself move a little from side to side. This is our Malasana, yogi squats. So we've kept the legs nice and wide as the mat. And if it feels okay, you could come to stillness here. Bring the hands into prayer and just sink back. So a little bit more opportunity to open into your inner thighs here. Lift the chest. Take one more breath. And then let's bring those hands back down onto the mat. Shift the weight into the hands and we'll just straighten through the legs a little here and then heel toe the feet back to hip distance. And with your next breath in, take that nice slow spinal roll that takes you to your tall mountain pose, hands meet in prayer. And then exhale, bring the hands all the way to your navel, interlace the fingers. Take a breath in. Inhale, lift the hands towards the chin, elbows nice and high, and exhale, sink back into your chair, Utkatasana. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands behind, fingers interlaced here. Draw the hands towards the floor, lift up and away from the buttocks on that breath in, and forward fold on the breath out. Take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, release the hands back onto the mat, and can we step the left leg to the back of the mat? Nice big long runner's lunge. Drop down through the back knee. Inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, find those cactus arms. Left knee forward, right heel drawing back. Take a nice deep breath in, open up a little more through the chest. And then on the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot. And just start to slide those hips back here. Inhale to come forward. We're just taking this nice movement through the body. So we get to slowly open up through the hamstrings to the hip flexors. Come forward with an inhale. Rather than come back and hold the pose stationary, it's nice to move and flow a little bit. Walk the hands back towards that knee. So the toes of that right foot are drawing back towards us, and we feel like we're drawing that right heel back as well. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, just let your chest come down over that front thigh. But making sure we're not rounding through the back. We want that chest forward and that back relatively straight. One more breath. And then let's walk our hands back towards the front foot. But can we bring the right hand to the inside of that right foot and heel toe the right foot to the edge of the mat? So we're in a kind of little baby lizard pose here. So we're feeling a nice opening through the inside of the right thigh and a little bit of hip flexor action on that left thigh. So if it's available, come over onto the outer blade of that right foot. So you feel that opening up through the outside of that right glute a little as well. One more breath. And then let's just bring that sole of the foot back onto the mat if you took that option. And can we now draw that right knee back behind us? So we're in our tabletop position, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. And close down your eyes and just let yourself come into some cat and cow breath. Belly drops on the inhale, chest comes forward. Exhale, round through your spine. And let's go again. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. And then let's just come to a nice neutral spine here. We're going to inhale, take that right leg out behind us and tap it around to the left. And then with the exhale, tap it all the way around to the right. And can we do that again? Inhale. So getting a little bit more into the hips here. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. So letting the foot touch down. Sole of the foot on the mat as you slide it out away from you. Just as much here as is comfortable. And then let's walk our hands a little off to the right. Come down onto your forearms, palms of the hands. And gently as you inhale, send the weight into the hands. And as you exhale, the left buttock draws towards the left corner of the mat. And do that again. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back. One more time. Inhaling forward. Exhale back. So use your next breath in to come forward. Press the floor away. Walk the hands to the front of the mat first and then all the way to the back. Inhale, lift the arms, fingers touch here. Now on the exhale, can we bring that left hand up? Right hand reaches for the left. So you can see we have this lovely straight line from the inner blade of that right foot down the leg, down the side of the body and out the fingertips on that right arm. So you can stay here or we have an opportunity to kind of change that around, letting that right leg hover and taking that right arm up towards the ceiling. Final option, bend the right leg, reach around the right hand, take hold of the top of the foot, kicking that foot into the hand, opening that shoulder a little bit. Feeling that nice hip flexor open through the top of that right leg. Release that now. Place that foot back down and the arm, and we can let now ourselves walk all the way back to the front of the mat here. Inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, slide that arm underneath the left. Bring the right side of your face down onto the mat. Left hand can walk to the top and over to that right corner. One more breath. And then start to let that hand walk back underneath the shoulders, and as you inhale, press the floor away. And let's now take that right leg all the way around to the left. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, slowly turn and look over that left shoulder. So we feel this nice opening up around the top of the right hip. One more breath, one more breath. And then let's bring that head back through center. Let's take that right leg back behind us. Bend the leg here. Taking that left hand around to take hold of the top of the foot if that's an option, and just kicking that foot back into the hand. And if that's not, just press the sole of that right foot towards the ceiling. Release that foot now. Bring the hand back down. 3 little releasing circles, circling that knee out to the side. And then letting yourself just pop back down and take a little side to side movement here through the hips. And can you bring your hands just a hand's length out in front? And as you inhale, shift the weight forward, find a nice low plank. And as you exhale, tuck the toes and come back to this active child's pose. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back. Now this one's a little different. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, back to your downward or your child's pose, I should say. Let's go again. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale back, active child's pose. Let's come all the way to the mat this time. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower all the way, nice and slow. Chin, chest, then your belly touches down. And can we bring our hands or arms out in front? Find that Sphinx pose, yeah? On your breath in, draw the elbows back towards your rib cage and lift your gaze. And on your breath out, draw your chin to chest, your navel to spine, the pubic bone to the navel. Inhale here. Exhale, turn and look over your right shoulder all the way to your right ankle. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, pubic bone to the navel. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, turn and look over your left shoulder all the way to your left heel or ankle. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower all the way back onto your mat. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through that nice low plank as you inhale. On your exhale, come back to find your tabletop, but bring your hands a little further out to the front of the mat and take a breath in, and on the breath out, sink chin and chest towards the floor into our extended puppy pose, Anahata Asana. Chin and chest towards the mat, opening up a little more through the chest. One more breath. press the floor away. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and maybe we take a few rounds of cat and cow just to feel like we've landed back into this tabletop position. Getting any little kinks out of the spine. Inhale, belly drops, chest comes forward. Exhale to curl. One more breath. And then with our next inhalation, let's take that left leg out behind, flex the foot, and let the toes tap around to the right now, and exhale, bring them around to the left. And again, inhale. So a lovely way just to flow into a little deeper opening through the pelvis and the hips. One more time. Inhale, tapping to the right. Exhale, to the left. Touch down, slide that foot out away from you. Walk your hands now off to the left side. Forearms, palms of the hands down onto the mat. As you inhale, gently shift the weight into the forearms and hands. And as you exhale, slide the hips back. And can we do that again? Inhale forward. Exhale back. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Nice and slow and gentle, and feeling that deep opening through the inner thigh on the left side. Inhale now to come forward. Exhale, press the floor away. Walk the hands fast to the front of the mat and then back towards that right knee. Inhale, lift the arms, let the fingers touch. And exhale, the right hand comes down, left arm reaches. So I want us to establish that nice straight line through the left leg, down the side of the body and out through the left fingertips. And then let's change it up. Maybe lift that left leg, bring the left arm up towards the ceiling. And perhaps you bend that leg, reach around, take hold of the top of the foot, take that little kick back. Release that foot now. Bring the leg down, bring the arm down, and walk the hands all the way back to the front of the mat. As you take your next breath in, take that left arm up towards the ceiling and exhale, slide it underneath the right. Left side of the face comes down onto the mat now. Walk the right hand to the top of the mat and over to that left corner. One more breath. And then let's slide that hand back underneath the shoulder, and as you inhale, press the floor away, slide that left hand back underneath the shoulder, taking that left leg now all the way around to the right. Tap the toes, take a breath in to gaze forward. On the breath out, slowly turn and look over that right shoulder. One more breath. And then using that next breath in to come forward. Take that left leg back out behind, bend that leg, and take the right hand around if it's available. Take hold of the top of the foot, a little kick back of that foot into the hand. So getting nice and open through hip flexors as well. Release that foot and take 3 little releasing circles, making sure that glute's nice and happy as well. And then from our tabletop, let's bring our hands again, a hand's length down in front. Come forward with an inhale, lower to the mat with an exhale. Hands a fraction wider than our shoulders here. Elbows in. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat to find your cobra. Exhale, lower down. Hands under shoulders. Tuck toes, lift through that nice low plank as you inhale. On your exhale, can you circle the buttocks down over the heels and then come forward with an inhale. Exhale back and hold and change direction. Inhale forward. Exhale back.
One more time, and then I'm going to get you to close down your eyes here and move, intuitively move. Connect to your body, connect to your breath. Feel into which areas need a little bit more opening up. Is your lower back a little tight? Do you need to come to a cat and cow or a little circle through the hips? And move your hands around the mat. So turn your hands so the fingers are facing the middle of the mat here, and just gently shift that weight forward and back. And turn your hands so they face the outside of the mat. So what we're doing here is getting a little bit warmer through the wrists, forearms, but particularly the wrists. And then finally turn the hands so they face the back of the mat here. So we open up through the front of the forearms as well, and just gently shift the weight forward and back here. And then move them back. And the final option is to shift the weight back a little into your shins and bring the backs of the hands onto the mat. So we've turned the hands over, so the back of the hand, not the palms, and just feel that nice stretch. And then come all the way back so you're seated in hero's pose. And just interlace the fingers and take a little bit of time here to flow through the wrists a little. Finding the, well, that was my elbow cracking. You might actually then open up a little. Bring the hand out in front and draw the fingers back and do that again. And then let's come forward, find that tabletop. We're going to tuck toes. Inhale, lift the knees off the mat. And exhale back to find a downward facing dog. But come forward as you inhale, find a plank, high or low here. And then exhale back to your downward dog. And let's do that again. Inhale to come forward. Exhale back, down dog, and hold here, and just now take a little pedal through your feet in downward facing dog. So we lift onto our toes, and we let one heel come down at a time. You can use the breath here, incorporate the breath. Inhale onto your toes, exhale, one heel drops. Inhale onto your toes, exhale through the other. One more time. And then let's find stillness in our downward facing dog. And can we inhale, come back through that plank, and exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Hands a fraction wider than shoulders. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat, find your cobra. And exhale, back down onto the mat, hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through that plank. Higher or lower than inhale. Exhale back, find your downward facing dog. Take a breath. And as you take your next breath in, take that right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee. On your exhale, draw the knee to chest, shift the weight forward, little tiger curls here. Inhale, send the leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. Weight shifts forward. One more time. Inhale, send the leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. Weight shifts forward. Step that foot between your hands at the front of the mat. Bending or pressing into that right leg. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, sink down into your Anjaneyasana. Little pulsations here. Inhale, press the floor away, straighten through the front leg. Exhale, drop down. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. Now on the exhale this time, as you sink down, find cactus arms here. A little tuck of that pubic bone up and under. Press into the ball of your left foot. Lift the heel, slide it back a little. Engage the hamstring. Option to open up through the chest a little more. Make sure you're squeezing those inner thighs together and that hip is tucked up and under to protect the lumbar spine. Take one more breath. And then let's release the hands to frame the front foot. You can slide the hips back and straighten into both of the legs here. Maybe come forward, bend into that right leg, and slide back. Inhale to come forward, and exhale to slide back. Hold here, just letting that left heel touch a little further or reach a little further to the mat. So I'm just gonna, you stay where you are, I'm just gonna turn front on so I'm getting ready to grab my block here. So when you're ready, straighten or shift the weight back into that right leg. Slide the left leg back a little and let that left knee touch down. Bring your right hand to the inside of the foot and heel toe that right foot out nice and wide. And here's where we would grab our block for lizard pose. Now you don't have to move off your hands if that is not within your practice. You can stay here, that's perfectly okay. But we have the block as a prop, so we can take it on many different levels just to rest our forearms there. So you might take it on level 1, you might drop down and see how level 2 feels, or level 3, or maybe you don't need the block at all. Maybe lizard is your jam and you don't need the block and you just come down onto your forearms and you're happy there, and that's great. Couple of options with lizard though. From here you could tuck your toes and lift that left knee off the mat. You can actually start to bring your right arm under as well and bring that arm out to the side and just maybe lift that arm. So wherever you are, take one more breath. We're going to let that left foot touch down, or left knee I should say if you lifted it. Bring both of the hands back under and lift up from our lizard pose. Now another option you can take is to draw the left heel in towards the buttock and take the right hand around and draw that foot in. So we're taking a nice opening up through that left hip flexor. One more breath. Let's release that left foot now. So I want you to keep the right leg out to the side. Tap the toes on the left leg, lift the left knee, and draw the left leg in so we're nice and wide on the mat, and then sink down again. Let's find Malasana. Feel free to move around. Remember, we're opening through the hips, the pelvis, the hip flexors a little today, and if you're a little cold or a little tight, move around, shift the weight a little. When you're ready, you could come to stillness, and elbows could come to the inside as we sink into our Malasana and find that nice yogi squat, chest is lifted. Take a breath in. On the breath out, can you sink a little deeper? Soften and relax. Send the breath to those inner thighs, to those hip flexors. And then let's release the hands out in front. I want you just to gently shift the weight into the hands here. We're just going to start to lift the buttocks, but heel toe your feet to hip distance, and then let yourself take a nice slow spinal roll as you inhale. Hands can meet in prayer, and exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Beautiful. And just take a breath. Just take a breath here. And then when you're ready, gently shift the weight into your left foot. Draw the toes of your right foot onto the mat, heel into the cup. Bring those hands into prayer. Inhale, lift the arms towards the ceiling.
Exhale, find your cactus arms here. Inhale, bring the hands back to meet in prayer. Exhale, hands down to the heart. And then let's find your tree, staying here if you need, or sliding the foot into the calf muscle, underneath or sitting underneath the knee, or above the knee, into the upper inner thigh. And seeing how our balance is today, mine is very, very wobbly. Squeeze the left glute, keep the right knee out to the side. And if you're like me and wobbling around today, maybe hands on the hips will give you a little bit more stabilization. Or you can bring your hands into your heart space, or branches to your tree. My little cat's looking very interested. What are you doing? Why are your hands not patting me? Why are they reaching towards the ceiling? Bless. And then let's bring those hands back to shoulder width. And can we draw that knee to the front as well and lift and find that stork pose? And then we're going to slowly, now I need to move here. We're going to slowly bring that right hand back behind and take hold of the top of the right foot. So we're setting up for our dancer's pose, and we should be nice and warm and open through the thighs, through the hips, through the hip flexors. Your dancer's pose can stay right here, or you could start to kick that foot back. So I'm just going to change position so that I'm at the front of the mat. Have a little play with your dancer's pose. Feel free to grab a wall in your house so that if you need a little bit more stabilization, you're able to get that. And you might start to kick the foot back a little more and let the torso come down. One more breath. Let's slowly draw that knee or back into center. Release the foot. Inhale. Lift the arms. As you exhale, we'll bring that leg behind us, practicing our balance again. Arms up behind. Soften through the left knee. Let the right foot touch down behind you. Inhale. Lift the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Let's step that left leg to the back of the mat. Mind the cat. Find a plank high or low. Take a breath in. On the breath out. Lower to the mat. Find your cobra. Hands a fraction wider than your shoulders. Inhale, lift to your cobra. Exhale to lower. Hands under shoulders, tuck toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back. Now find your downward facing dog and take a little pedal through your feet. Come to stillness. Inhale, take your left leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest, shift the weight forward. Inhale, send that leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest, weight shifts forward. One more time. Inhale, send that leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest, weight shifts forward. We step that foot between our hands at the front of the mat. Pressing into that left sole of the foot. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, sink into Anjaneyasana. But as you inhale, straighten through that left leg. Exhale to sink down. Let's go again. Inhale to lift. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale. This time on the exhale, as you soften and sink into that left leg, find your cactus arms. Inner thighs squeeze together, lifting that hip, right hip, up and under, pressing into the ball of the right foot. Lift the heel. Slide it back a little, engage the hamstring, and then maybe you send your gaze towards the ceiling as you open more into these cactus arms. Take a nice deep breath in.
On the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot. And just slide your hips back so you're straightening into both of the legs. Inhale, come forward, bend into that left leg. Exhale, slide back. We're just prepping a little for lizard. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back. One more time. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, back and hold here. Let the right heel reach for the floor behind you, straightening into that left leg. One more breath. And then let your weight shift back into that left foot. Bend into the left leg, slide the right foot back a little. Drop the knee, yeah? We're going to bring our hands to the inside of the left foot, heel toe the left foot to the edge of the mat, and you'll grab your block once again. Now whatever level, if you use the block on your other side, whatever level you had the block on, use the same level for this side. Even if you can go lower, resist the urge. So whether you took level 1, whether you took level 2, or whether you took level 3 or none at all, choose the same level. Keep the left knee drawing in towards the side of the chest. Your options here are to maybe tuck the toes on the right leg and lift the right knee. Play around a little with the arms if you'd like to bring that arm out to the side. One more breath. And then we'll drop that knee and very mindfully lift back off the block and just slide it out to the side. And the option here is to draw the right foot in, take the left hand around and take hold of the foot and draw it in towards the buttock. Release that foot. We're going to find our yogi squat, our wide squat one more time. So keeping the left leg where it is, tuck the toes on the right. And we'll slide that right leg in nice and wide on the inhale. Exhale, sink down. Now this is the third time we've come to our Malasana. So hopefully you're a little warmer. I'm certainly feeling this through my hip flexors today. So it just goes to show me I'm super tight there. So moving around. And it depends what other exercise we do. Coming to stillness. And dropping down through the buttock if you can. And I give you another option here. You can keep your right hand on the mat and inhale, take your left arm up. Take a breath in and lower on the breath out. Keep the left hand on the mat and inhale, take the right arm up. Lower back down. One more breath. And then bring your hands onto the mat, sink the weight into the hands. And slowly start to straighten the legs. And just keep soft knees, just heel toe the feet back to hip distance. And take a nice slow spinal roll as you inhale, feel bone stack on bone, hands meet in that tall mountain pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. And we're going to find that tree pose on the other side. So weight into your right foot, toes of the left foot on the mat. Heel into the cup. Hands in prayer. Inhale, send the hands towards the ceiling. Exhale, find your cactus arms. Inhale, hands towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then let's find your tree. Stay here or slide the sole of the foot into the calf below the knee. Or bring it into the upper inner thigh above the knee. Knee out to the side and squeeze through that right glute. And hands can be on the hips in prayer, or maybe you give your tree some branches. Keep squeezing the right glute. Keep the left knee out to the side. Let's bring the hands to shoulder width. Draw the left knee to the front. Find your stork pose with an inhale. I'm going to move in a minute. Exhale. Left hand comes around to take hold of the top of the left foot. So we find our Natarajasana, dancer's pose. Staying here or maybe kicking the foot back and bringing the torso forward. Keep kicking, keep kicking, keep kicking. And then slowly bring the knee back in. Lift the arms towards the ceiling, knee towards the chest. Take an inhale, exhale, more balance. Come back through that warrior three. Soften into the right leg as the left foot reaches for the mat behind. Inhale, lift the arms and exhale. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Let's slide the right leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank. Take your breath in. On the breath out. Lower all the way to the floor. Right arm comes out to the side. Bend the left leg. Roll onto that right side. Let the left foot touch down behind you. So left, no, Jake, no, honey. Left hand can stay here or come onto your hip or to the small of your back. So you feel that shoulder open up a little more. So we're opening through the chest here as well. An option is to take hold of the top of the foot, kicking that foot into the hand. Close down your eyes, just breathe into this lovely opening through the hip flexor, quad, shoulders, chest. Release that foot now if you did take that option. And bring the left hand back down onto the mat. And we can then close that left hip back down. We're going to take the other side, so straighten the left leg. Left arm comes out to the side. Draw the right arm in, bend the right leg and roll onto the left side now. So left foot touches down. And you either keep the hand on the mat, bring it to the hip or the small of your back here. And maybe reach down, take hold of the top of the foot and take that little kick back. Close down your eyes, just breathe into that opening through the chest, the shoulders, the hip flexor. The hips, the pelvis. Release that foot now and bring the hand back onto the mat and let's close down that hip. Slide the left hand back underneath the shoulder. Tuck toes, lift through a nice low plank here. As you breathe out, just come back and find a child's pose. Letting the forehead rest on the mat. Bring the hands into prayer out in front of you. Option to lift those hands over the head so thumbs are reaching for the back of the neck and walk the elbows out and stretch a little through the backs of your arms. Release the hands here. And just allow yourself with your breath in to come back to that nice low plank. Tuck toes and lift back to find your downward facing dog. Take a little pedal through the feet. And as you take your next breath in, take your right leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, yawn that hip open to the side. So like we're stacking one hip on top of the other. We're just setting up for pigeon now. Feel like you're evenly distributing the weight between both of your hands, not just dumping it into the left arm. Right heel reaching for that left buttock. With your next inhalation, draw the hips back through center, and on the exhale, draw the knee in towards that right wrist crease. Slide your left leg back. So knees a little wider than our hip here. Untuck your toes. Take a nice deep breath in, lifting through your chest. And as you breathe out, allow yourself to slowly make your way down onto your mat. So we want to go nice and slow here. Feel into this right glute, the hip flexor. We've done quite a bit of hip opening today. So see how you're feeling. And I want you to unclench your teeth and relax your jaw and soften your shoulders here. Bring awareness to your breath and bring awareness to that lovely opportunity of creating space and expansion on the breath in and softening on the breath out. So allowing perhaps that breath out to feel as if you're dropping a little closer to the floor, to the mat. Soften shoulders, keep checking in, making sure your jaws relax, your teeth are unclenched. So let's just use our next breath in here to gently press the floor away and start to walk our hands back towards that knee. Tuck toes on the left leg, lift the left knee, slide the right leg back, and take a little pedal through your legs in your downward facing dog. Maybe we take a little twist in the dog. Draw the heels to the right, bend the knees, press the floor away. Draw the heels to the left, bend the knees, press the floor away. Then come back to stillness. Check your feet at hip distance here. And then let's inhale, take the left leg up towards the ceiling, bend the knee. On the exhale, draw that knee open to the side like we're stacking one hip on top of the other. Feel that left heel drawing in towards the left buttock. And then let's draw that knee back through center on the inhale. As we exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, slide it down behind the left wrist crease. Slide the right leg back, and as you do that, feel into this left hip, the left glute. How's it feeling? Mine's a little tight. Take a breath in. On your breath out, start to lower yourself down towards the floor. All the while, just checking in the hamstring, the glute, the hip flexor, the hip itself. See if you can soften the shoulders a little here. Sometimes we get a little tense and they rise up towards the ears, so relax and soften. Bring awareness to your breath, close down your eyes, soften your jaw, and let yourself soften a little more towards your mat, yeah? Letting go, letting go, letting go. Releasing, creating that expansion through the breath, creating that space. Letting each breath take you a little deeper, surrendering a little more towards your mat, into your hips, into your glutes. And then slowly with your next breath in, press the floor away and start to walk your hands back towards that knee. We're just going to shift that weight over into that left hip and draw the right leg around. Now, I'm just going to turn, so you should be like this. And what we're actually going to do is straighten that right leg and pop the left foot ankle across the knee and then slide that right leg in once again. Hands behind us and then move the buttock and the heel towards each other. So we take an opportunity to open up a little more through this left side. We'll do the right side as well. But just holding here for 3 breaths, drawing that knee out to the side. Perhaps you need a little bit more opening up through that left glute. I know I do. That's all about me. No, not really. You know I'm kidding. And then when you're ready, slide the buttocks back and straighten that right leg so the left foot can now touch down and hug that left knee in and bring the left hand behind. Toes of the right foot draw back towards you. Inhale to lift and lengthen here, and exhale, shoulder, rib cage, chest, head and neck turn to the back of the room. So each breath in is that lift and lengthening through the crown of the head, and we create space here. Feel the spine stretching. And each breath out is where we soften. We take the length, we take the space we've created and soften into a twist. Shoulder, rib cage, chest, head then neck. Or head and neck. So use your next inhale now, guide the head and neck back to center, rest of the body can follow. And we'll draw this left knee in and just straighten the leg, and give the legs a little bit of a shake, and then cross the right heel or ankle over the left knee. Hands come to the behind us, to the back, and we slide or bend that leg and then slide the heel or the buttocks towards the heel, heel towards the buttock, walk the hands in a little closer and open up now into another sort of stretch through the right hip and glutes where we draw that knee out to the side. So lots of opening into hips, inner thighs, glutes. Not so hamstring dominant today, but my hips were really tight and I feel like maybe there's a lot of that going on. We hold a lot of emotion in our hips, and there's a lot going on in our world and the world at the moment. So hip opening, getting in there can be a wonderful, wonderful thing. Let's walk our hands back now and maybe draw the buttocks back and straighten that left leg, and you'll find the right foot is crossed over and hug that right knee in. Draw the toes of the left foot back, right hand comes behind. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, we twist. This is our Ardha Marichyasana. Actually, it's Sanskrit, so there is no like Spanish or whatever that accent was. Ardha Marichyasana. So when we take, there's a couple of twists we take. One's called Ardha Matsyendrasana and one's called Ardha Marichyasana, this one. And whenever I hear that Marichyasana, I always think of like, Ole Marichyasana. I'm sure that's not how it's meant to be conveyed though. But anyway, shoulder, rib cage, chest, head and neck. Let's bring that head and neck back to center, rest of the body can follow. And can we just shift the weight back, and as we uncross the legs, bring them nice and wide and take a little windscreen wiper action with the knees. We're about to come down onto our mat, so I'm going to swivel. I have the luxury of 2 mats set up in different directions, which is kind of cool because I can move around a bit. And then come forward. Or come to stillness, I should say. If you need to come a little forward on your mat, do that. Inhale to lift the arms, and exhale. Allow yourself to roll down onto your mat here. Now we're going to draw the knees into the chest and just hug them and rock a little from side to side first. And then hands onto the knees and circle the knees to massage into the glutes and the lower back. So take it maybe 3 or 4 in one direction, and then when you're ready, just pause and change. I filmed a few different classes last week, some kind of hit interval training and a core class, and my glutes are a little tight. Pause. Let your feet touch down. We're not finished with our hips yet. Bring the arms out to the side. Lift your hips, slide them a few centimeters to the right. Cross your right leg over your left leg and let those cross legs gently drift to the left side. Now, your head can stay turning left or neutral, or it might turn to the right. But what I'd also like you to do as we're taking a nice twist to our spine is to work a little more into that glute. If you need it, squeezing your legs together a little more tightly can open up and work into that glute. Let's now roll back onto our back, keep the legs crossed, slide the hips back into the center. Draw the knees into the chest, legs still crossed. Head and shoulders lift off the mat. Take hold of the outer blades of those feet if that's available for you, drawing the feet apart. Letting your head and neck come back down, and just take a little bit of time here to open up into the outside of the hips, into the glutes. Drawing whatever body part you have away from the other. Release that now. Uncross your legs, hug those knees in. Let the feet touch down, arms out to the side. Lift your hips, slide them a few centimeters to your left and cross your left leg over your right leg, and let those cross legs now slowly drift to the right. Head can stay neutral, or you might turn it to the left. Just depends on how your neck is feeling, yeah? Boys, my cats are about to fight. Please don't. Please don't. I asked you nicely. They don't listen to me. One more breath, and then we'll roll back onto our backs. So let's roll back now, keeping the legs crossed, but sliding the hips back into center. Knees into chest, head and shoulders off the floor, outer blades of the feet or the ankles or whatever body part you can take hold of. Head and shoulders back down and draw that body part away from the other. Release that now. Uncross your legs and hug the knees into the chest. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Let's curl into this little seed pod, little cosmic egg. Take a little bit of movement here if you need to, getting any last little kinks out. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, let's start to bring the legs out in front and bring the arms out behind us. Inhale and exhale. Lower the legs and then bring the arms over onto the mat and flip the palms so palms face the ceiling. Let the legs just fall out to the side. Close down your eyes and settle into our final pose, our Shavasana. So knowing now that all of the work has now been done, there's nothing left for you to do, just to be on your mat and to be in this space for a few moments of receiving. I like to think of this pose as a way for you to receive all of the gifts and all of the goodness that our practice of yoga has to offer. So with eyes closed down, let your body soften, sink down into the mat and soften through your feet, toes, ankles, shins, calves, knees, backs of knees, thighs, backs of thighs. Soften your hips, pelvis, the glutes.
Feel that abdomen soften, the lower back, the belly, the middle back, the chest, the upper back, the shoulder blades, the shoulders. Soften the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers. Allow yourself just to drop into this sense of heaviness through the back of the body, but silky softness through the front. Imagine your skin is like this soft layer of silk that's just been draped over your body. And your thoughts may come and welcome that. Don't try to resist them, because that's when we give them more energy, and that takes away from our softening into ourselves in our Shavasana. So welcome anything that arises here with a sense of love. Love what arises. Even if that feels a little interesting, just love it. Welcome it in. You'll find it will dissolve. And maybe today, with your eyes closed down, you feel like you're dropping into the floor even more, and perhaps starting to melt through the layers of the earth. Start to feel and observe the breath moving through your body. And allowing a deeper opening up through the body and creating more softness with this breath. Drawing the breath in and allowing it to reach every corner of your body, every cell, every molecule. Bringing in fresh, reoxygenated blood to every area, this lovely opportunity. And then as you exhale and create that softness, notice that you're able to release anything that is no longer serving you, that is no longer present here for your highest good, is able to be released from the body with each breath out. So your breath in is creating space and expansion and regeneration through the body, and your breath out is taking away anything that is no longer needed, not present for your highest good. And all you need to do is connect to that and lie on your mat and receive all the gifts and all the goodness. So our practice of yoga has opened up the body. And that's the beauty of Shavasana. This is where the real work takes place. Start to let your breath begin to slowly deepen as you bring your awareness back to your space on the mat. Allow that awareness to expand beyond the four corners of the mat that you are on to the four corners of the space that you are in. And allowing the sounds of the outside world to drop back into your awareness, slowly, slowly. Ebbing and flowing, dropping in and out. And then let the sound of the bells guide you back to your physical body, on your mat, inside your space. Inviting now some little flickers of movement and energy through your fingers and your toes, and you might rotate your wrists and your ankles, or let your head gently move from side to side. And when you're ready, take a nice deep breath in, letting your fingers reach to the wall behind and your toes to the wall in front, and let your body become as long as it possibly can. Feel yourself now re-emerging, re-entering into your day. Bend your knees and make your way over to your favorite side. So rest your head and your upper arm and your forearm. Close down your eyes and take some time to just bring everything and integrate. So bring everything that you've received from your practice back with you and integrate through the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, the energetic. Just bring it all back and let it be integrated so you can fully embody all you've received as you go about the rest of your day. So, as you feel to, just slowly, mindfully make your way up to a comfortable seated position with hands in prayer, thumbs rest gently in on your sternum. Close down your eyes, soften your shoulders, reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Drop into your body, notice how you're feeling now at the end of your practice. And allow yourself to drop into your heart space. Notice how your heart space is feeling. I want you just to think about one thing in this moment. One thing, the first thing that pops into your head, your mind, that you are grateful for, and pop that into your heart. And allow your feelings around that gratitude to arise and strengthen and grow and flow. And send them to every corner of your body, washed with gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to guide you through this morning practice. If you'd like to join me in closing the class, we could chant together 1 Om and 3 Shanti. Bring your hands back into prayer. Take a nice deep breath in. Take another inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.